To all Terraria console and mobile players, there are a lot of things that you should be ready for before Journey's End comes out. I have played around with Journey's End on my PC, and let me just tell you, there's a whole lot of things that you should be ready for. And since that Journey's End is not out on console and mobile, you guys have an advantage to know a little bit of what's coming before it comes out and be ready ahead of time. But in case you don't know what's coming in Journey's End or what to be ready for, that's the point of this video. I am here to tell you stuff to get and do before Terraria Journey's End, so that way you guys can be ready when it comes out. So if you do like this video, please drop a like and hit subscribe to see upcoming videos. And without further ado, let's get into the video. To ensure your readiness for Terraria Journey's End, there are a lot of things to get before it comes out. One thing I'd recommend you get is all the pets. There is an achievement on the console and mobile edition, I think, called Pet Hoarder, and you get it by getting all the pets. However, when Journey's End comes out, it will add a whole lot more pets, which will make it a lot harder to get the achievement. So if you can get all the pets before Terraria Journey's End comes out, you can get the achievement and get it over with before the update comes out and adds all those new pets. The second thing I'd recommend you get is as many gold critters as you can, because there will be a new feature coming to Terraria Journey's End called Bestiary, where it's basically like a catalog for all the creatures and monsters in Terraria. The gold critters will be much rarer in Terraria Journey's End, so if you can get them beforehand, you can add it to your bestiary, and it won't be much of a problem at all. And a big thing I'd recommend you get is the Frostbark and Lava Waders. Basically, they're both boots. The Frostbark boots is made by a combination of lightning boots and ice skates, and the Lava Waders are basically water walking boots with an obsidian skull and lava charm. The reason I'd recommend you get them is because there will be a new final pair of boots in the game, and I think they're called the Terraspark boots or something. If you get them before the update comes out, you will be ready to craft them once it comes out. It'll add so many new effects to the boots, like you can fly, you can run super fast, you can walk on water, and even survive in lava. So get those boots before they come out, and you'll be ready. You should also get 2 new houses open up in your base. The reason is because there will be 2 new NPCs to the game, the Golfer and the Zoologist. The Golfer you find in the underground desert, and the Zoologist you get her by filling out a part of your bestiary. Both of these bosses will serve important roles in the updates, so I'd recommend you get 2 new houses so that way you can get them. But the main thing I'd recommend you get is all the swords for the Zenith Blade. The Zenith Blade is going to be the new most powerful sword in the game. It'll be the final form to the Terra Blade. And like I said in part 1, make sure you get the Terra Blade, but also make sure you get the Star Wrath, the Meowmere, the Influx Waver, the Horseman's Blade, the Seedler, the Beekeeper, the Enchanted Sword, the Star Fury, and hilariously the Copper Short Sword. All of those will combine to the most powerful sword in the game, the Zenith, which, if you didn't know, means at a time which something is most powerful. So I really like the name to that. And the Zenith will utterly destroy everything. Like, watch a video if you want to see what it does, but you definitely want to get that. So once you get all those swords, you'll be ready for Terraria Journey's End, and you'll be able to craft the Zenith. There are still quite a few things to get ready for before Terraria Journey's End. One thing I'd recommend you do is, if you have the Reaver Shark, replace it. Get a new pickaxe like the Molten Pickaxe or even a hard mode pickaxe, because the Reaver Shark is going to receive a big nerf in the update. The Reaver Shark was a great pickaxe that could last you all the way to pre-hard mode and even a little bit of hard mode, but it's going to only be as good as a platinum pickaxe once Terraria Journey's End comes out, which means it will only be able to mine up to meteorite. So, the sad nerf to the Reaver Shark, make sure you can replace it. Another thing I'd recommend you do is prepare all your new bases. What I mean by that is there's going to be a new system called Happiness and Pylons. All your NPCs will be happy or unhappy with their environment and the people they're with.
Basically, certain NPCs like to live in different biomes other than others. And once they're at a happy state, they'll sell something called a pylon, which acts like a teleporter. That way you can teleport to the bases back and forth without having to go long distance. What I'd recommend you do is build bases in each biome and figure out which NPC likes to live there and which NPCs like to be around others. So recommend you look into that a little more, like do a little more research on that. Another thing I'd recommend you do is prepare for some boss buffs. Bosses like King Slime and the Moon Lord will no longer be cheesable. King Slime will no longer be cheesable with the rope technique, and the Moon Lord's top laser eye will be able to go through blocks, and it will insta-kill you and your nurse if you have one. And speaking of the nurse, she will charge 20 gold now if you want to get restored to full health, so I would advise you pick a different strategy if you're going to do that. But another thing I'd recommend you get ready for is create a new character in a world once the update comes out, so that way you can try out all the new stuff, maybe try out journey mode or master mode. And speaking of master mode, get ready to brace for master mode because it's like expert mode, but it's much harder. Things will do more damage, some things have different attacks, and yeah, it's not going to be a fun time. But the number one thing I'd recommend you get ready for is the two new bosses. The two new bosses are Queen Slime and the Empress of Light. Both of those bosses are hallowed bosses. The Queen Slime is before mechanical bosses, and Empress of Light, you battle her after Plantera. They can both pose some challenges, especially Empress of Light, because there's a challenge to kill her during daytime, which can insta-kill you. Both of these bosses are going to be incredibly hard, especially the Empress of Light. So definitely get ready for her, because she is the bullet hell boss that Senex was talking about. But anyways, these are all the things I'd recommend you get ready for in Terraria Journey's End. And if you can get all this stuff done before Terraria Journey's End, then Journey's End will be a breeze for you and you can have a lot more fun once it comes out. And now for the main part that a lot of you have been waiting for, the release date predictions. Now, somewhere along the line, the developers have said that mobile is going to get the update before console, which surprised me at first because mobile is usually last in line, but apparently they're going to skip all the way from 1.3 to 1.4, meaning they'll add all the stuff from 1.3.1, 1.3.2, 1.3.3, 1.3.4, 1.3.5, all the way up to 1.4, all of that plus Journey's End. So mobile's going to get it first, and then console will follow suit shortly after. Now they have said that it's not going to take incredibly long for this, so my prediction for mobile is give it a few months, like around the end of this year at most, and as for console, around the beginning of next year, or maybe even earlier than that, more or less, give or take. But all of that, all those predictions are just a prediction. I don't really know the exact date. Anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you found this video entertaining or informative, please hit like and maybe consider subscribing, as I will be uploading some major content in the future. But anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.